Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about water in our Capri camper retreat shortbed truck bed camper. Let's see. So, like most travel trailers or campers, the Capri is got the standard fill spot for the onboard water. And then it also has, let me switch hands here. That's my bad hand. It also has the hookup for a hose if you're going to be on, I don't know what they call it, city water, or, on a water hookup where you have this thing hooked up to a hose all the time. That way you're not using onboard stored water, you're using just straight out of the spigot. So we've got to where we're going to be camping, and at this particular campsite, it does not have, it has electrical hookups, but no water hookups. So what they do have is in some of these parking areas, they have water spigots. These are kind of spaced out at a variety of locations throughout where the campsites are. And I would imagine that a lot of places, I know in the state of Oklahoma, at most state parks, this is a federal facility, federal wildlife refuge, but most state parks, probably even city parks really that have campgrounds, if they don't have water hookups at the locations, they're going to have something like this in the area so you can fill up your tank. So that's what we're doing here. We are filling up our onboard storage tank with water, and we could have done this at home, but then you're hauling, I think water's 7 point some pounds a gallon, so then you're hauling all that extra weight in your drive, which if I can avoid that, that's what I like to do. So we were going to get here plenty of time before it got dark. That might be something to keep in mind if it's going to be after dark or be late. Maybe you don't want to mess with this, but we are going to be here plenty early. And I knew that ahead of time. And so we're here. We have our hose, and this setup is, and my hose flew out. Let's see if we can do this again here without having it fly out. So we just got this thing going. We're just staying one night, so we don't need a full tank. So we're gonna call this good. So also, while we're here, I'm gonna show you, like most campers and RVs, we've got the panel on the outside here to the water heater. Now, this is it runs on propane. It heats very fast. We've had real good luck with this, real good experience, no problems. These are standard in most RVs, campers. The last thing I'm going to talk about here on the outside of the camper is an outdoor shower. Now this isn't, always just has to be used for a shower. It can be, but so you can see it's got hot and cold water, and then it's got a little mount inside here that the shower head can attach to, and then it has just a push pin up here. Push this either way to turn the water on and off, and that way once you have your knobs on and your temperature set to whatever is comfortable, then you can just use this little push pin that goes through to start and stop the water. So if you're preserving water, because you're using onboard water, you can, wet yourself down, turn it off, very easy. Then shampoo and soap, whatever you want to do, very easily turn it back on and rinse off. So we mostly use this for spraying down dishes a lot of times, or our boots if we've been out hiking and we got muddy or whatever the case. We like to use this out here as a way to wash stuff off. Even our chairs sometime, depending on where we're at, and they get sand all over them, or they get mud or dirt or whatever from using them on a fishing bank or something like that, is kind of an example I can think of. So and then right here, this is where, since we're on the topic of the water, and we've talked about the hot water, this is where the I'm having a hard time here with my hand. I can't get that open with my bad hand. But anyway, this is where your propane's at. So very easy to reach up here, turn the knob to turn turn the gas on or off. And so that's it on the outside. And we'll show you in the inside. So let's talk water inside the Capri. I'm sitting on the bench area here, and underneath me is the water tank, the storage tank. So this is where I was just sitting, and under here, I took the cover and the little mattress pad off of here, and we've got our water storage tank. Okay. This is where it comes in from where I just showed you guys where you fill it up from like a spigot. Okay. This is just an air, I guess, pressure valve. So this is a little spot where the air can escape as you're filling. And then down here, we've got the water pump. So you can see all of the pipes are very easily accessible. God forbid you have anything freeze up or whatever, you can easily get in here. It goes behind there a little bit, but this is all PEX pipe, just like what would be in your house, more than likely. It doesn't freeze nearly as bad as PVC. But like I said, there's the pump down there. So here by the sink, there's a little switch. I'll show you both of these, I guess, at the same time, but you can hear the water pump kick in. And then here is where the hot water tank turns on, okay? You'd flip that on, give it about 7 or 8 minutes. And that's with cold water in there. 7, 8 minutes, you got hot water. Okay? So, sink, obviously, with hot and cold. And then the shower. The toilet, that'll be a separate video. But that just comes out of there. Okay? And that's the shower. Okay, it's got a fan right up over there, so you don't let all the humidity and all that, keep that in the camper. You don't want that. But nice handheld, comes off of here if you want to. It's got all the different little settings and whatnot. Again, it's got little racks to hold your soap and shampoo, and it's got a bench. Okay. And here's your hot and cold turn off down here. The drain is right there, and it has a hose that tucks in between your tailgate and your frame, and it just goes out onto the ground. Now, with the drain, depending on where you're at, you can let that, it's just gray water, okay? So there's no, you know, waste, I guess. I guess the worst thing it would be is some soap, shampoo, whatever, and dirt from your body, okay? So, depending on where you're at, campgrounds frown upon you, letting your even gray water just go out onto the ground. If you were at a campsite that had septic hookups, I would recommend getting maybe a 1-inch tubing that you could just set that drain tube into, and then you could run that over to your septic. You could also just put a 5-gallon bucket under there, or one of those little wheelie dolly things for extra gray and black water that you see campers have sometime. So there's a few different options. If you're on your own land or private land or whatever, or if you're somewhere where, I don't know what all the state's laws are, okay? So if you're somewhere where gray water can just go on the ground, you could just let it go on the ground. Now the drain is the same for the sink. It's a different drain, but it also, when you load the camper, it also tucks in between the tailgate and the, I guess the frame, the bed, the frame or whatever of your truck, and it just goes on the ground. So again, you would have to either catch that somehow or, buy another tube to be able to run that to where the septic connects as well. A couple different options there, but or if you're able to just run it on the ground, just run it on the ground. So that's about it for water. So hope this was a little informative. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. Be happy to answer any questions. If I can't answer them, I know the guys at Capri can. Okay, they are absolute pros. So I would not hesitate to check out their website. And if you have further questions, just call them. They would be absolutely happy. You're going to talk to one of the owners. It's a father and son, and you're going to talk to them when you call. So they're amazing. So anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.